Like American Indians, Mexican Americans also found themselves in the path of the stampede of Anglos intent on settling in the West. The southwestern United States had until recently been part of Mexico.
As of 1848, people who were before that Mexican citizens are rendered into American citizens. And there are guarantees offered about their retention of their land and their full rights to citizenship. Those guarantees take a beating in the years after that.
Throughout the Southwest, the late 19th century witnessed a huge transfer of land from Mexican American to Anglo-American ownership.
What happens is that many of the Mexican descent individuals had grants that had been given to them by the Spanish. And so when the Americans come in, many of them basically said, well, this was Spanish, it doesn't matter to us what the Spanish government did for you.
My family's been in New Mexico since 1598. Because our family's been in the state for so long, they were able to acquire quite a bit of land over the centuries. Some of the land grants were recognized by the U.S. government, but some of them weren't. But when the American government came in, they wanted to see it on paper. They said, well, where are the documents? We want to see them. They didn't have them anymore. They had lost them over hundreds of years. So the American government said, well, if you can't prove it on paper, then it's no longer yours. You're going to have to leave.
Land constituted the basis of wealth and position, and the vast losses sustained by the Hispanic population permanently altered the class structure of Southwestern society. In 1850, the rural Mexican population in Texas was roughly equally distributed among ranch or farm owners, skilled laborers, and manual laborers. 50 years later, the manual laboring class had ballooned to more than 2/3 of the Texas Mexican population.
What the resulting decline in land ownership did was it really made people of Mexican origin dependent on wages. The number of people who go to work for the railroad, for the large farming concerns, for the cattle ranches, for the small businesses in metropolitan areas of the Southwest grows. But we also know that land is critical to a sense of place. And so that when people lose the base they identified as their home or their place of origin, they become more readily available as a migrating labor force, so that people can move to Chicago, to Pennsylvania to work the steel mines, for example. They can follow the routes of the crops. They're more easily displaced, they're more easily used by the economic system.